There we go. Hi everyone. I am live. Although I should change a thing. Actually, I'm gonna do that right now, really quickly, because I realized that I don't have the thumbnail that I wanted for this because I didn't change that. But that's okay. I'll figure this out. Just hang on one moment. Not that I have any viewers right now, anyways. Or okay, no, I have one viewer by looks of it. But anyway, so yeah, like this weekend is going to be just absolutely fantastic. Or at least it should. And oh, that's right, I can't do that off my phone. That's fine. I'll leave it. Um, but yeah, I wish my dad did not turn off the fan. But that's fine. So this weekend is gonna be really fun because it's gonna be at my second ever dyno day. But I'm gonna be working this one, even though I kind of worked the last one. But this time, actually getting paid for it. So there's that, which is cool. Won't be paid a lot, but we'll get a couple of bucks to be honest, and it should be good. Um, and then gonna be checking out a really, really amazing, rare unicorn of a car collection on Friday. I'll be checking out this car collection first on Friday, and then the dyno days on Saturday, and oddly enough, my birthday, which is also Father's Day, is on Sunday. So, yay! Should be a fun few days. Plus, tomorrow I should be going to check out the Olds auction. There's some really cool stuff out there, to be honest, and I really can't wait to check out the vehicles because I haven't done that yet. There's some really neat stuff. That auction ends this week, so you know. Plus, I should be able to see because I think Keith is wanting to make his way down to check out stuff in person. Which that's really fine. It's nice to have a second set of eyes to check on stuff too, especially since I'm not buying anything in this auction. Although one of the things, if it's bought, I will 100%. It happens to be this OBS Chevy that's just a complete pile of crap by looks of it. How the motor is placed in and everything. It's a diesel swap that is a really terrible diesel swap. Like, it's not that it's a bad motor, but it has it's the way it's mounted in. It's a Nissan diesel, and instead of it being, hey, nice and level like this, it's like this in the engine bay, which it should be. So it is just kind of funny. But some of the vehicles that I'm going to be checking out. Is this window open? Yeah, it is. Oh, and there's my kitten because I decided to open a window because I really needed that nice cool breeze. There we go. That's better. But yeah, so like this collection of cars, at least I'm pretty sure he still owns all of these. If not, he owns the bulk of these. So there is a car collection up in Lacombe. A friend of mine owns it, and the thing is, this collection, he has all of the following vehicles. And again, he may have sold one or two of these, but he's got the bulk of these, especially the unicorn ones. So he has a GMC Cyclone. That's rare enough on its own. I've only seen a few in my lifetime. So GMC Cyclone, which is really cool and one of the fastest trucks that was made back in the 90s. In fact, it was the fastest truck made in the 90s. Then you had then he also has a Shelby GLHS Omni, which again, you almost never see. I've seen one in person. It happened to be actually at the Olds Car Show, which is also happening this weekend too, but I'm not going to make that because I'm going to be up in Edmonton. So it's how it goes, right? It's how it goes. But it's fine. It's whatever. It happens. So yeah. Anyways, GLHS Omni. Jumping forward from that in that lineup. I'm just trying to remember the full lineup. I think it goes to the SAAC Shelby Mustang, which was 1992 only, and they only made. I don't have official numbers on this because the research I've done, I haven't really found much, but between 34 and 64 total cars made, if I remember correctly. So that'll be really cool. He also has a Celine Fox body Mustang. I can't remember what year it is, and again, those are really rare too. And it's interesting in like his sort of lineup that I remember seeing. The kind of pedestrian cars that he has, because like there was the GLX convertible Mustang is a little more generic, I suppose. It's still kind of rare, but still kind of generic in a way. And the SVO Mustang, which you don't see very many SVOs anymore. SVOs are cool, and they're 4-cylinder turbos only. They have a weird front end on them. They have weird headlights. They are very unique, and they only made them for I think 3 total years, like 84, 85, 86. I think maybe 83, but I think it was 84, 85, 86. And apparently the ones you want is like the 85 and a half because they have more power that year. And also the final one that he has that I know he might have more than this, is a 1982 Chrysler LeBaron with only 34,000 original kilometers on it. And like normally, Chrysler LeBaron, I mean, it'll catch my eye, but I don't really care that much about them. But especially as a sedan, and being 82, it's non-turbo, it's 2.6. Basically has everything going against it, but it's got 34,000 kilometers on it. It'd be really cool just to see how much of a time capsule it is. And being that early, it might have the talkie radio, which is so cool. So basically annoying, but cool. Basically, instead of like having a door ding and stuff like that, you'll actually have the radio talk to you, which is just really, it was a neat kind of gimmick that Chrysler had back in the day to try and be more high tech, but I don't know how well it really like worked out for them, to be honest. But that's all fine. It's cool. It's fine, right? And truthfully, it is just one of those really cool things from back in the day. Because it's just something that you don't see, and those K cars really didn't survive all that much. It's actually quite surprising that way. There we go. Okay, I can't update that. Bummer. That's okay. I could put in, I'm gonna put in some hashtags and stuff like that. But it's just one of those things, and I like to see different different cars. And I like to experience as many cars as I can. And it's just one of those really fun things and I don't get to experience as many cars as I'd like to, right? Because not all the time can you actually experience all the cars you want to. I've experienced quite a few cars, and it's been a really fun experience. Like the funnest car I've ever got to experience, I got to drive it. Actually, I've actually driven it more than I've been a passenger, which is to say I've never been a passenger in it. Is the 76 Cosworth Vega that my friend Paul owns. And I will get an opportunity to drive it again. And actually like do a review of it, which that will come to the channel this summer at some point. There was obviously last weekend, or like this past weekend, where I actually went down to, I should say, to Vulcan and filmed a really cool car collection. There's a couple of the videos already up. There's still a couple more to upload. My internet's really shit, so it takes a while. I have to upload it overnight because it just about breaks my internet, to be honest. So, it's just something I have to be careful of. But yeah, it's one of those things, you know. And I really can't wait to see what the videos I'll do and everything. And the one's already sold, so that's not so bad. The other one though, and like, and whenever I get back down there, because I will do a trip back down there for a couple of the vehicles, because I did not do videos on absolutely everything. I only did it on a few. Um, and the few that I didn't do it on was a 67 Charger, a um, let's see, there was a 67 Charger that I didn't do, and there was the 68, there was a 69 maybe, GMC pickup. So those two will be really cool to check out and, you know, just experience and whatnot. And also, if you're interested in buying, so far I have two videos up of the Civic and that Mercedes. Where's that Mercedes? Oh, I wanted it so bad, but I don't have the money for that, so it's fine. Right? It's fine. Um, and it just would have been really cool because it was such a peach. And, you know, like the video, yeah, it's not doing that great. The Civic video is doing a little better, which I figured it was going to be honest. But the one thing is that Mercedes video, though, it could just be a slow burn because those are actually quite popular. And I do really like those. I don't know much on them. Like, you can watch my video and I know almost nothing about it, but I'm just kind of experiencing it and discovering stuff. Right? And then there's the Civic, which, you know, I know a lot about that. I talked about it a little bit and whatever else, but I was also like, the one thing is when I was doing some of these videos, I was just getting to be really sort of tired, and I was in the sun all day, and you know, I started to get a bit of brain fog and stuff like that, so I was symptomatic. And yeah, during that, because there's one, and I might not even upload it to be honest, because I did a video as well on an 84 D150 that only has 42,000 original kilometers on it, which is amazing to find it like that. Like, the bed was actually used. There's no rust. There's no dents in the body. There's just, you know, scratches in the box. But that's basically it. You know, it's just immaculate all the way around that thing. It's on propane, you know, which factory propane, but he's actually going to convert it to gasoline, which I would keep the propane just because of how cheap it is to run. I wouldn't mind owning a propane vehicle. The only downside to a propane vehicle is that you have to go to the not every single gas station sells propane. A lot of them do, but not every single one. So you do have to find the ones that you can refill propane tanks and do it that way. Um, which again, I can literally go across the street and do that. That's not a problem. So it's pretty cool, to be honest. And like I said, you know, just stuff like that, and just the vehicles that I've been able to experience, and the ones that I'll still be able to continue to experience as the years go on, is going to be incredible. And I can't wait for it. You know, it's just one of those things that, because like I said before, I take every opportunity I can to drive different vehicles, to experience different vehicles. And there's stuff that I needed to film like last year, and I still haven't. I think actually there's this thing from 2 years ago. There was a Mitsubishi Pajero Evolution. I still need to contact that guy and get that video done. Which I don't know much on that vehicle, but it's just really cool to find. Um, I There's still that British car collection too. There's the cop car collection, which is like guy who owns vintage cop cars. It's really cool. I've met him once, and we're actually friends on Facebook. And meant to see him before the season closed last year, but I just didn't. And plus, I'd love to set up a photo shoot. Maybe I get Kyle Hanger to help me out with that. He's a friend of mine, and he happens to be a photographer, professional photographer, in fact. And so basically, I'd love to set up a photo shoot because my car, my 81, especially, like, is dressed up in a way of like, hey, be in a hot rod this car when realistically it's slow. But I'd love to do a photo shoot with, of the car, like actually getting pulled over that way, or just have him flick the lights on. Maybe not necessarily on the street for obvious reasons, but it's one of those things. And, sorry, I'm trying to clean my keyboard here. Because there's a little bit of stuff that got spilled on it the other day. Like, it's fine. I don't have any sticky keys, luckily enough, because how this keyboard is, you can't really get sticky keys because just how elevated it is. I should just take an air check to this, but I need to actually plug in my actually hook up my air compressor, and there's adapters that I have to adapt the lines to accept my all of my air tools, which I don't have many, but I do have a couple air tools. I'd like to get more, but it's one of those things. And it's not exactly like a super big compressor or anything. It's like a 5? No, it's close to like a 10 or 15 gallon maybe. It's not very big. Compressor. And it happens to be a Campbell Hosfeld, which is an okay brand, but it's not amazing, right? It's just one of those things. And yeah, like in the future, what was that just beeped? Okay, that was weird. Oh, maybe that was a PS4 shutting off. I didn't think of it. That would make sense. Haven't used it for a bit, and it just does its auto shut off thing. But and also like the one thing is, if you happen to be in Alberta, preferably closer to either Edmonton, Lethbridge, even here in Sundre, within those areas, and you have a collection of cars that happen to be just like really cool and unique, contact me. I would love to film your vehicles. And there are so many different vehicles that I have done, and there's still a lot more I want to do. If it happens to be just another Fox body, that's cool too. Like actually, I would love to find an Arrow, just a plain Jane Arrow Fox body to film, but they're kind of few and far between when it comes to, well, not few and far between. I shouldn't say that. I should just say I just haven't really tried to track one down, because actually Arrow Mustangs are much more popular than um than the Four Eyes actually. Although I tend to run into more Four Eyes, but you go to car shows enough, whatever else, you'll see a lot more Arrows. You go to the track, you'll see a lot more Arrow Mustangs, which I do find that interesting at the track, especially because the Four Eyes are lighter, although the Arrows are faster, but the Four Eyes are lighter, considerably lighter actually, because especially by 1993, the final year for the Fox body. In 93, I think it was, they had a passenger side airbag or a driver side airbag. By 96, they had a passenger side airbag. I think that's how it went. Or was it 94 or 96? I can't remember, or what when Ford did it, but I'm pretty sure the Fox bodies could actually have airbags. They could also, actually, the early Fox bodies, it's kind of interesting. It's a really rare option. I've never seen it installed, but the Fox body could actually have factory ABS. I've never found one with ABS, but it'd be kind of cool if I could find one. And that'd just be a really neat sort of thing. But will I? I doubt it. And to be honest, I don't think I'd want to use it, because how well does it work? Because it's early 80s, late 70s, computer technology. Not great. There's a reason why all their really cool innovations from the late 70s and early 80s had to just go by the wayside for a few years until computing power up with it. Because, as an example, Cadillac had the 468 injection system, which basically on they had, because it wasn't even a Cadillac engine at that point. It was just a Chevrolet engine, if I remember correctly. May have been a Cadillac motor, but I think it was, or maybe it was a Cadillac motor. I can't remember. Regardless, though, it was like in Cadillac DeVille's and stuff like that. And basically, for a few years, you could have a cylinder deactivation system, but it just didn't really work because they didn't have the computing power to really keep up with the cylinder deactivation at the time. Although now they still have problems with cylinder deactivation, with dropping valves and stuff like that. So that's the one thing, and that's the reason why I like my older cars, because there's less to go wrong. You know, do I have to tinker with my car more often? Yeah, but that's fine. To be honest, it's kind of like being a car enthusiast and just enjoying to tinker with my car, right? You know, there are plenty of other other ones out there that, because like the one thing is, I will say it. You don't, to be a car enthusiast, you don't necessarily have to work on your own car. You don't have to modify it yourself. You could have a shop do it, or you can just leave it stock, and that's totally fine too. Um, there are people like I have met that know nothing about cars, and that's okay. I am here to honestly just show people what what they can do, and as well, like just teach them in general of stuff. And like honestly, something I'm gonna be doing at some point is actually do a video on car maintenance, in particular how to do an oil change. you know and if you don't have a lift, how do you do an oil change? And I'll show you that. And there'll be a couple different ways I'll show you, because I'll show you with two different jacks. um Both will be like trolley style jacks, but one will be short, one will be long. And just kind of showing what you can do um to change your oil. And because I've only changed my oil actually on a lift just a couple of times, to be honest. I usually do it in my driveway. um or I have sent it out a few times too, because it used to be a deal that I used to get here in town, where basically I supplied the oil and filter. It was $20. It's like perfect. And he did it a lot faster than I did, so it was well worth it. Not that I really have $20 to do that now. And if you're wondering how I can afford to, travel around, so going down to Vulcan, that was actually paid for me. My fuel was paid for. Um, and then going up to Edmonton for this uh, so going to see this car collection on Friday, and then going to Edmonton that same day, and then going to the car show, and also the dyno day. My gas is going to be paid for that as well. So, and also something, and I haven't even really mentioned this, is so this weekend I should have my new fog lights too. And maybe me and Keith can go about installing those on my birthday. That'd be cool. Um, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know if we'll get it done or not. That would just be really neat. Because well, we're gonna need to. Well, I say we. It's gonna be him wiring it. But it won't be very hard, because there is actually, I have a relay in his shop. I had bought a relay specifically for. It wasn't even for this. It was actually for a fuel pump, like an aftermarket fuel pump, electric one that we put in the Civic when we thought the fuel pump was dead, but turns out it was just clogged lines and stuff. When we pulled out the fuel pump, it's like, this feels fine actually, and we pressed the plunger, and you heard the sound of like kind of like a duck, and of course my cat is photoboyant. Kate, rascal, goddamn cat. Hi, buddy. There, just lay down. Lay. Why are you beeping, PS4? Nobody's touching the controllers. Hi, buddy. You gonna lay down? You gonna lay down? There you go. There you go, buddy. There you go. There's my kitten. See him and weep. Or don't actually weep, that'd be really sad. But I love him so much. And I mean, okay, granted, I call him my kitten, but he's 13, 14, something like that. I think he's 14. Gonna be going on maybe 15 this year. And then Saber, he's gonna be 24 this year. And hi, Zach. How's it going? Definitely appreciate coming out to the live stream because haven't had any interaction with this live stream yet. And the last one I had nothing. So excellent. Good to hear. I don't know. I'm assuming because you just jumped in and started talking now. Did you hear about the car collection that I'm going to go see on Friday? Or no? Because I can talk about it again. That's totally fine. Because it's a really cool car collection, and I could show it on camera actually if I there's my phone. Need to have my phone for that. Because this car collection. Okay, so I have a picture. Let me find the picture. So this picture is of a friend's car collection. Oh, right, and I totally forgot. How did I forget those two when I mentioned it earlier? So it's a good thing I'm going through it again. So, if it'll focus. Come on, focus. There you go. So, from right to left, you have a GMC Cyclone, a GLHS Omni, a Buick Grand National, a Buick Grand National GNX, a Shelby Fox Body Mustang, the SAAC edition, which was only in 1989, somewhere between 34 and like 62 total ever made. Beside that, it happens to be a Celine Mustang. Besides that is an SVO Fox body, and beside that is a GLX convertible. But either I think it's an 83. 83 or 84. And sorry, it's going to take a second for this to refocus back on me because it was used to seeing my phone. Yeah, right? It's so cool. It's really cool. And, hang on. I just got to do this. Hopefully this works. Okay, again, you're off. What is your problem, PS4? This is just going to be a little blurry for a minute. Just hang on. But basically, yeah, like I will be seeing that collection on Friday, because that's when I'm going up. So, because it happens to be along the way, well, kind of along the way. It's a little bit of a detour, but it's fine to go up to Edmonton, because it's actually in Lacombe. Let's see. Okay, can I get that to? There we go. No, it didn't really work. I wish I could get this to autofocus on me, and then when I have my phone up, I can just focus on my phone. Because yeah, it's getting it to actually unfocus is difficult, or refocus on me. So let's just do this again with the phone. Okay, do that with the phone. Okay, it's focused. Then just slowly back it out. Slowly back it out. There we go. That worked. I gotta do it that way. I always forget that that's how I have to do it to get it to focus. But yeah, so that is gonna be a really cool car collection. Plus, I mean, now granted, I don't know. There's a couple of those that I don't know if he still has. I know he still has the GNX for sure. He still has his GLHS, I'm pretty sure. And he's got the Celine and the Shelby for sure in that lineup. Don't know if he still has the SVO. Don't know if he has the GLX anymore. And I don't know if he has a Cyclone. But for sure, I'm going to be seeing those Fox bodies and the Shelby, which is just so cool. And the Celine. Because I've never seen a Shelby Fox body. I've never seen a Celine. Those are two of the rarest Fox bodies you can find. It'd be really cool, though, if he had a 4-eye Celine. But sadly, he's only got the Arrow. That's fine. Because people don't realize that actually there are 4-eye Celine Mustangs. they are a lot rarer, and they're just really cool. And like, too bad he didn't have any like really cool old Capris, but he just doesn't. That's okay. But he even has something really. It's rare to see now, but it wasn't really a rare car when it came out. He just picked this up a few days ago. A 1982 Chrysler LeBaron. Happens to be a sedan, which normally I wouldn't even talk about this because just like it's a LeBaron sedan, who really cares? Especially with a 2.6, and I believe it's an automatic. So it just basically it has all the black marks against it, but it happens to only have 34,000 original kilometers on it. So how could I say no to doing something like that? Because it's just like it's a time capsule of one, and it might be the best condition, lowest mileage one on the planet. So, and there's something to be said about seeing the low mileage mint condition versions of common vehicles, because I've never been able to do that. Like my 81 Mustang, granted, it is low mileage for what it is. It's got 44,000 kilometers on it total. My convertible actually is one of the higher miler convertibles out there for an 86 at about 200,000 kilometers on it. My truck even has 360,000 kilometers on it. So, there's that. But it's pretty cool. And, you know, of just, and being able to experience the cars that I have and being able to see the stuff that I have, it's a treat. And I love being able to share it with y'all, to be honest. And it makes my day when I see comments and the like, provided that they're not weird comments, which Zach has never left a weird comment on my channel. So that's always a good thing. He just happens to be genuinely into the cars, which is good. You know, like I have a feeling like that Civic video, because I was testing the pedals just to show people, because again it was for sale, show people that, hey, look, it works. you know Testing the clutch pedal, testing the brake, testing the gas. Of course I got the weird freaking perverts in there, but it is what it is. It happens. But yeah, no, just it's really good. And like, there'll be another video uploaded tonight, but I don't think I'll make it go live tomorrow. It'll go live the next day. I'm just trying to decide which one I want to do, between the 66 Chrysler Windsor or the 73 Chrysler Newport. The Chrysler Windsor happens to be a Canadian only Mopar, which I didn't even know existed, to be honest. I thought it was a New Yorker. So I didn't do my research on that one at all. Mind you, I didn't do any research on the Mercedes either. But yeah, it's fine. You know, it's just one of those things. And as well, there's a video that I do want to do, because like I'll do an auction walk around video, even though my auction walk around videos always do crap, but for views, but it's fine. I'll get it. I'll do it because it's always good for extra content. Um, you know, like I'll do that, but then as well, there's a video I want to put out because there was a guy that got banned from a big car show that happens every week in at New Horizon Mall in Balzac, Alberta. He decided that he was going to do a bunch of donuts just a couple weeks ago. Do a bunch of donuts by the entrance and get kicked out promptly. He's been banned from all events. So I'm going to use the clip that I saw of him doing those donuts, and then at the start of the video, and kind of address that, and then go into what is actually proper car show etiquette, what you should and shouldn't do, what is encouraged and what is not. Because there are some people that don't understand at all. Like, there are people that are very disrespectful to cars and to their owners, because really, like, something that you should do is not badmouth the cars. If if there's something you disagree with on a car, there's a way to do it where you don't sound like an asshole as well, and I'll explain that in the video as well. Like, because basically what I do is just like, if there's something like, say, the wheels on a vehicle, like, say, yeah, they're not to my taste, but honestly, to each their own. That's all you have to say. And I always try and find, like, when I'm talking to somebody about their vehicle, I try and find stuff that I like about their car. Sometimes it's difficult, but that's one of those things. Or even like, um, this was a this would have been 3 years ago now. Here in town, when I used to be part of the car culture here in town, but I'm really not anymore. Just because of the people who run the meets and stuff are just not really my. I have problems with them, so that's fine. Um, and but at the time when I was promoting the car meets and I promoted them in a bunch of different groups and whatever, I had people come from all over, especially during COVID, because we didn't really we shut them down for a little bit, but then we started them back up again. Like we stopped our car meets for like just a couple of weeks, like about 3 maybe 4 weeks, and we started them back up again. And because we could get away with it, bigger cities you couldn't, but out here, cops didn't care if we were out doing that. So we actually had a really good turnout at because we started our car meets at Napa, and then once we outgrew the space. Oh, you've never been to a car show? Oh, you definitely need to go to a car show. Just any car show. Just go. Find one that's near you and figure out a way to get there because it's 100% worth going. I grew up going to car shows all the time. And now I hit up so many in a year. Like I go to a lot of car shows in the year. And like, because this weekend I'll be at one, if not two, for sure. Um, who knows? Maybe there's something on Friday, but even then, I doubt Friday is gonna be a thing. Um, oh, excuse me. And actually, that's something I want to check. What day is the 15th? Okay. Okay. That's Thursday. Okay. Just with the auction nearby. Um, if I'm gonna be headed up Friday, it's gonna be interesting. Plus, there's stuff I need to bring to Keith too, and something that I might do some rearranging with stuff on my car because it's the tires that are on the front are just crap, and I need to replace those. And what I might actually do, I just need to figure out how I'm gonna do this because with my 86, because I'm not driving it right now, it doesn't have it's not registered currently. Because I think the front tires on Stitch, like they're basically gone. They've got a lot of tread, but they're dry rotted. They're old. They're terrible. Honestly, I hate driving on them, and that's fine. But swapping the tires around from the 86 over to the 81, at least front tires wise, and doing it that way, so it'll actually have a bit more of a rake doing that, which will look really cool. And I shouldn't have as many issues with it being wayward on the highway, and especially with wind and stuff. A little better for that. And it'll have, a staggered sort of look, even though it has a little bit of a staggered look right now. But, it'll be cool. Uh, Okay, again, I don't know why my PS4 keeps doing that. Stop it. It keeps making noise at me, and I don't know why. It's off. You're off. Only reason why I know that is because the TV that's still on shows there's no signal from you. So stop it. It keeps beeping at me. Oh, 8. Okay. Again, I don't know why you're beeping at me. You should stop doing that. Gonna get it to stop. Turn it on, turn it back off again. Just weird. But yeah, no, it's just it'll be a really just kind of just fun few days here coming up. And also like something I mentioned is because I'll be seeing the guy who is giving me those fog lights. I might have new fog lights put in the car after they got smashed on the dyno. Um, the other or a few weeks ago. So it'll be nice to have proper fog lights again. Although I would like to tint them, because they're not going to function properly as fog lights the way they are. They're going to act more like floodlights, which I don't want floodlights. I want fog lights. It's just one of those things plus the look. Although having floodlights might actually be a little bit of a benefit just due to my high beams aren't the greatest at night. So depending on how bright they are, I'd have to install them and test them. And because honestly, I could just tint them myself. That's not very hard. I can just get the VHT tint, from Canadian Tire or something. And it's like $10 for the can, so it's really not too bad. And then you just layer it up yourself to see how much tint you want or how little tint you want. And because it wouldn't be like a black tint, it would be more of an orange tint on the fog light. So that'd be cool. And yeah, because it's so sad that those got smashed. But after I just had them installed, like it wasn't that long ago before that. But oh well, it happens. Like, and I wasn't like too upset about it. It happens. We weren't paying attention and smash. Quite sad. But yeah, like honestly, Zach, for if you want to go to a car show, figure out a way to get there because I do understand you are a little younger, so it does get a little tougher for you to go to car shows like on your own and stuff like that. Like not you're not super young, but you know, uh just one of those things. Just get to a car show. And you don't even have to bring your own vehicle. You can just go by yourself. Honestly, I have been to so many car shows where I didn't have a vehicle, I didn't even have a license then. Although when I actually got my license, I actually did have a car. So, which was my '81 Mustang. Um, I had that before I could legally drive a man. Because I actually got, um, I actually got my license after I got that thing on the road. So, but I did get my license in actually, no, it wasn't in the convertible. It was in my '81. I thought I got it in the convertible and I realized, no, I didn't. Because at the time, my convertible was sold. So, but yeah, it's one of those things. And it's just because, like, car shows, for the uninitiated, like, it might be, they're really not too bad. And, like, because certain etiquette with the car shows is really not that bad. Just, like, don't badmouth people's cars. Don't be just an asshole in general. If you have a car, don't be don't be revving it up too much. Don't be doing burnouts or donuts or anything like that. That's just disrespectful. And also, when people do that, it can actually get whatever venue that you're at for a car show. It can actually get the whoever is putting it on kicked out of that venue for the future. So, you know, there's a time and place for it, and unfortunately, a lot of people don't realize that. I've argued with the guy on Facebook about it, and they try and say, "Oh, it's part of the car hobby." Well, yes, doing burnouts and donuts and stuff like that is part of the car hobby. However, it's there's a time and place for it. You don't do it all the time. Just like you don't drive your car super fast all the time. Because I know I don't. I will. I'll drive my car a little harder here and there, but my car isn't very loud, nor is it very fast, so it's fine. Although I do want to get a video of just like a sort of flyby one of these times. Um, but we'll see, because like yes, I have that one on the highway, but there's other vehicles on the road, so you can't really just isolate my car noise of that. I'll have to get my buddy Keith to help me out with that. I think, because I can just you know find some desolate road, have him with my phone and the tripod, and as I go by, just film and go. Maybe actually, if he's coming down, and I don't, he's probably not going to come to the Sundry. But if he does, there's a road that we can go on and do that here. But if not, then it's fine. It's one of these times I want to get a flyby of my car because it'd be cool. Be very cool. Oh, what do you mean? You'll be having to make changes. What do you mean by that? I'd be confuzzled. Because what changes would you have to do? Like with your car? Because I can't remember actually, because I know you're young. I just don't remember how young you are. And like I said, like if you have a vehicle or if not, that's totally fine. It's not like people haven't come to car shows that don't have vehicles. Because trust me, for the longest time. Oh, okay. You're gonna be having a surgery. Well, one of the things is, it's like once you're recovered from your surgery and you can go out and have the freedom again, that's when you can go to car shows a little more. Or even if you have limited mobility, you can probably find people to have you to drive you places too, right? It's gonna be a pain in the ass, especially if you happen to be, in a say a wheelchair or something like that for a while. Because I know, like after my big surgery in 2020, um, I had limited mobility for a while. I was pretty much stuck at home for about a month or two, to be honest. So, it was difficult. I wasn't allowed to drive my car yet. And, just, I was so antsy to drive. And I didn't, like, after my surgery, I really didn't have a lot of energy to drive either. So I wanted to really badly, but I just couldn't. And it just took a while, even just walking across the street, because I would just get food across the street, when I could eventually walk around without too much pain. And I was walking around with a cane. And I remember actually, because my friend Andy, we play Pokemon Go together. I haven't really touched the game too much, but just because I don't have people to play with anymore. And with him, I don't know if he still does it or what's going on there. But we used to Pokemon all the time. It was fun. And the one thing is, I was crossing the street here, and he happens to just be right in front of me. He stops, with reasonable distance and everything is all fine. But then he honks at me, so of course I had to flip him off because I'm like, screw you. I have right away. He was just being fun. But it's just one of those things, right? And I don't have very many people around here anymore. I used to have a few friends, and now we've all just kind of distanced a little bit because one physically moved to Ontario, so that's a thing. And then my buddy Toby, he's just really busy. He was always really busy though, but it's one of those things that we just haven't really kept in contact too much. So there's that. I know where he lives though. He's just out in Olds, but we just haven't kept in contact. And then and yeah, that's basically it. Like, because I don't really have too many friends. Like, I have people who I'm friendly with, for sure, but people that I actually like hang out with, not really. So, not here. All of my proper friendships are elsewhere. They're in Lethbridge, they're in Calgary, they're in Edmonton. So, which is fine. You know, it's fine. Why is there only one picture of this? Ah, that's right. I think I remember you mentioning that actually before. When is the surgery again? Because I totally forgot that you had that limitation actually. I apologize for that, but I don't remember like a ton of things. Like I do, but I don't. It's just one of those things like but that actually I do remember you mentioning that. But yeah, like when's the procedure gonna be? Or is there a date on that yet? Oh, see me. That is really cool. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that I can think of talking about right now? Not overly, but I guess I can wait for your response too. And okay, people that put up their vehicles for sale, why do you never put in information on it? Don't get that. An orthopedic surgeon first before the surgery. Ah, okay, fair enough. That is totally understandable. Very understandable, in fact, because yeah, there's they want to make you jump through all these hoops and whatever else, and welcome to just doctors in general. Um, yeah, and do you happen to have a because we'll ask, do you happen to have a schedule to see an orthopedic surgeon yet, or are you still on a wait list, or how's that going? Because I do understand, like, with the health or with just health in general, and with the industry how it is, it can be really pain in the ass. Even being here in Canada, it's not always the greatest. Wait lists are forever. Like my dad, he's been on a wait list for his knee for like 8 or 9 years. Actually, no, not quite that bad. I think he's been on the list for like 3 or 4 years. What am I talking about? That's when he got his last surgery. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, cool. Oh, see, I can do that. Oh, okay. I can do that manually from there. Okay. That's stuff that I'll have to play with a bit more. But I'm just seeing the stuff because there's like not a lot of interaction in the chat. Like to be honest, I won't be going live for too much longer. Um, but that's one of these things because being late at night and everything, it's one of those things where oh hey Jeff. Um Depending on the car show, um some car shows have you do an entry fee, but typically that entry fee goes to some sort of a charity, if so. Not a lot of car shows actually pocket the money themselves, to be honest. It's quite uncommon for that. I have paid entry to some car shows, but for the most part, I don't. And like there are car shows, like for example, the one in like at New Horizon Mall every Wednesday throughout the summer, um, with weather dependent, of course. Um, that one is always free. There are lots of just weekly sort of car meets that are 100% free as well. And yeah, there's a lot of car shows that are completely free. It depends on which ones. I've been to a few that have paid. I've had to pay, but then others that I've been to that have been absolutely free. It's like when I went to on Mother's Day, or at least the weekend of Mother's Day. Like there's what they call the Mother's Day fly-in breakfast. There's actually a car show here every year, and basically, so they have planes and cars show up. I was there last year, I think it was. And it was a good time, but this year I didn't get to make it, so that's okay. Maybe next year. But yeah, having said that, yeah, no, it's like in my cars, both my cars have been into quite a few different car shows, but never have. Yeah, like I said, I shouldn't say never, but a lot of times I try and avoid the ones that I have to pay to go in, just because I'm so freaking broke right now. But um, and I usually try and offset the cost in some way, whether it is through selling parts and stuff like that, or whatever else. I just make it work that way. But figure it out. And it's one of those things. And like, and throughout the summer, I'll be at different shows and stuff like that. No, thank you. And the one thing is with the YouTube Shorts, it's usually for me, I do a lot of them, and it's one thing that I can just put out content a lot more than what I've been doing typically lately. But also, like, some of the shorts that I do are just clips from videos as well, and those just help promote the video. Or some of the shorts that I do will just showcase some other little details and whatever else that I've done. That'll probably pop up in a later video as well. But it's one of those things. Like, um, it's one of those things. Like, I'll still continue to do the YouTube shorts because they tend to do quite well. Some of them lately haven't been doing that well, but videos lately haven't really been taken off, to be honest. Um, However, it's one of those things. I will, but I'll keep going, to be honest. And like, I try and put a priority on proper videos, right? Because I do try and get the quality videos as much as I can. But that's not always possible. And sometimes I just need to put content out, and the shorts can do it because I can do a short on basically anything, right? That's the beauty of a short. Where a long form video, you have to have a tiny bit of structure, even though I go completely off the cuff all the time. There's never a script or anything that I write for this stuff. And even like my like my cruise videos, as an example. Oh, that's fair. And like the one thing is, I don't put like shorts get me not a lot. They just get me a little bit more engagement. But even like I have money or I make money off of YouTube, but it's not much. And shorts get me even less. It's very minimal. And it's stuff like I always try and prioritize, like I said, full videos. But it's not always the easiest thing to do that. Uh it's the same. Actually, no, the shorts are the exact same, to be honest, unless the only time the shorts are not is if I have my phone in selfie mode. Because the video quality itself is going to be the same whether it is in as a short or as a full video. But like I said, if I'm in the car and it's pointed at me, I won't have like and going down the road as an example, I don't have the camera stability, and also it's not as good of a megapixel camera here as it is, say, back here. So there is that to consider as well with those. But, you know, it's one of those things. Um, yeah, like some of those will be, but if I'm just walking around a car with this, it it should be the same picture quality. Oh yeah, I mean, that's the one thing about shorts that I well, actually, I think you no, that's right. That's only on TikTok. You can rewind TikToks. You just can't rewind YouTube Shorts. That's right. I was just thinking about that. Um, yeah, it's one of those things. But if I literally just do my shorts like I do, I know it's the same quality video because I watch it and it's the same. Plus, it's using the same camera, the identical camera to it. Now it's not like this; it's like this, but it's portrait instead of landscape in the filming how I do it. The only ones that might be, I will fully admit, that aren't just the selfie camera or that would potentially be a little worse is any of the ones that I take a full video of and I edit it into a short via YouTube. Those might not come out quite as good because it does kind of cut off some of the screen as well, in which I don't think it stretches it at all. It just cuts some of it off, which I don't know why it does that and doesn't just stretch it to make it work. But yeah, I mean, though the one thing like with my YouTube shorts, I don't try and put anything that's too pertinent in them. I'll just do basic stuff as well. So that's one of those things. And the I do a lot more shorts than I do full length videos, but it's harder to do, right? And it's something that I always like right now. It's nice because there's a lot planned, and there's a few videos that I already have uploaded, and going to upload myself that aren't just shorts. I'll still continue to make shorts though. Sorry, it's just one of those things. But the beauty of it though, because I put out so much content, you don't have to necessarily watch every single video I put out. Just watch the ones you want to watch, right? And if you don't want to watch shorts, that's fine. You don't have to, right? Basically, the shorts are just sort of to say where I'm going at times, what I'm going to be doing, that sort of thing on a day-to-day basis. But usually I'll talk about it in a video prior to me going, typically. Not all the time, but typically. Or there's these live streams as well. But I do understand that not everybody has the time to watch a live stream either. Because I always make sure that people can watch these live streams after the fact if they want to. And the fact that I always put on this feature that the live stream comments will be there as well. So any of the comments that are here, they'll actually see when when I'm done. So that's pretty cool. Because some people leave that off so that you don't see the interaction here, which is screwed up if you're actually having interaction with your fans. So yeah, but it's one of those things. I am like, there's a lot of full feature sort of ones that I'm going to be doing very soon. Like there's this big car collection that I'm going to be filming. I already just filmed this other car collection this past weekend. There's going to be more dyno videos as well, which, you know, those are always fun. They haven't really done incredibly well on YouTube, but yeah, that's one of those things. I and it just, yeah, will be fun. And there's other cars that I want to review this summer, hopefully. Because it was nice to, the last car that I reviewed was the 2014 GT Mustang, but who knows? Maybe I'll be able to do that this weekend. We'll see. So my buddy Keith actually picked back up. He has a 62, 63, I think, AMC Rambler. The inline six in it is, interestingly, it's a flathead inline six. I thought it would have been overhead valve by then, but I guess not. And it's actually a 3 on the tree manual, which I've never driven 3 on the tree. So that'll be a fun experience. And I'll definitely do a video on that and review it. And that'll be really cool. And the one thing is with that one is there's going to be 2 different camera shots that I'm going to have, because I have my 2 phones. The other one's in my car. But so this phone will be up on my dash recording, and then the other phone will be either on the back glass or on the quarter glass, depending on how it goes. Like depending on if Keith is with me or not in the car, because he might want to be with me, but if he's not, then that works too. It doesn't matter to me. Like I said, I've never driven 3 on the tree. It's also manual steering, manual brakes, which oddly enough, I've actually driven cars that are manual steering, manual brakes. That happened to be, well, there was 2 that I've driven like that. There was the Cosworth Vega, and there was the 56 Pontiac Pathfinder. That was like that too. So, yeah, although I will say the Pontiac was a little more sketchy to drive, even though nice car and everything, but it was on bias ply tires. Whew. Those are not fun. And the brakes, how he had them, because there's 4-wheel drum brakes on that thing. So how he had them adjusted was just, he even mentioned he needs to back them off of it, because it didn't take much of brake to lock them up. Ugh. That's terrible. But yeah, it should be really fun, to be honest. And just, there's lots of stuff that I have planned. So stay tuned. And like I said, I learned a driver's thank you. Actually, and that's kind of cool to learn on something like that. But it would suck for sure. Although I will say, vehicles that weren't trucks, that were designed to be manual steering, manual brakes, aren't as bad as people say typically. I will say though, without having power steering, it sucks, because in parking lots, it's very you really have to just yank on that damn wheel. Which I've been there, even in my 86 Mustang, because the power steering pump leaks in it. So anytime I drive it, like, it leaks really bad, I need to replace it. But anytime I drive that car, it's it'll leak out, and by the time I go to park, it's just really reefing on that wheel to try and get it to turn. because it's not as big of a wheel as it is in my 81, oddly enough. So, but like my 81 was like one of the last years that you can actually get manual steering in the Mustang. Yeah, well, the one thing is non-power steering, like manual steering, is awful in low speed, but when you actually started going, it wasn't too bad typically. Now, different cars were, would be different because like the Cosworth Vega, that was a little different. But and obviously like old trucks was different too. That 56 Pontiac, like it felt fine. It was just again parking lot was a little annoying, but other than that, it was fine. It was great. Okay, can you make up your mind there, Kat? Can you make up your mind, sir? You just won't make up your damn mind. Like if you're gonna lay here, then stay here. Hey, rascal. But yeah, I mean, it could definitely like low speed always sucked with manual steering. I've done that. I've done that in my convertible. It's awful, definitely. I don't recommend. Um, but yeah. Hi, kitten. You know, and it's just one of those things. But like, and oddly enough, like in a proper non-power steering car, like that was designed not to have it, and like the steering rack hasn't been upgraded. It's a lot better versus a vehicle that has power steering, but it just there's no fluid in it. Hey, no worries. Yeah, like I'll be signing off pretty soon here, to be honest. I'm pretty tired, and I've got a day ahead of me too. So, today, like not a long day or anything, but I do have to go out to Olds and check out the auction and get some groceries. Even though I just got groceries today, but you're gonna get more groceries tomorrow. All that stuff. That's just how it is. You love your big scritches, eh? Kitten? Yeah. I mean, I am tired. Like, I could go to sleep right now. And to be honest, probably should. But, you know, that's one of those deals. Like, I honestly won't be asleep proper for, at least another hour, probably. So, catch your leg. But yeah, no worries. I definitely appreciate you coming out and chatting. And actually, you know what? On that note, I think I am gonna end the live. To be honest, it was a good conversation overall, and I definitely appreciate everybody that came out and chatted. There wasn't very many, but welcome to doing a live at starting at midnight, basically. So, anyways, love you all. Thank you all so much for listening, and I will talk with you later.